morning. Uh, like you, I think I just found out I'm the Keat noter. No, I know Angela and Keat invited me to give remarks, but I am happy to be here and happy to be with you. Uh, Let me first say the very loud and over-the-top remarks about Go Jags I had to do because both of my parents are proud graduates of the Southern University. So go Jags. And I wish my mother up above is looking down on me, so I won't embarrass her. And my father, who's still with us at 98 in my hometown of New Orleans, I wish he could be here, but I will be seeing him later this week. Let him know I was at an event hopefully representing him well, along with Southern University. So again, good morning, and it is really good to be here with you. First, let me also thank Keat Moore and Angela Washington for putting on this event. They are a resource. MBDA is a resource that you should use as much as possible. I thought I was well versed in different parts of the government, but until I got in this job, I didn't know about MBDA. So shame on me, but the good work that they do. And this administration saw fit to finally, after 25 years, this was created back in the Nixon administration, MBDA, given a bunch of tasks. But as you all know, if you're given tasks to do and no money, it's hard. So they were given very little money and told, go out and do this great thing. November of 21, it was codified, and $100 million were put into the coffers of MBDA to train and help small businesses, minority businesses, underrepresented businesses gain their fair share of government contracts. So in your midst and being here, I just encourage you, work with, seek out, challenge MBDA because they do great things. And we are doing more and more with Keat and Angela and MBDA out of Commerce because at our location agency, Department of Energy, when myself and Tamara Miles, my great deputy, go out and we're working with the national labs, where 80% of the procurement dollars are spent within the Department of Energy. We're not going to accept that, hey, we can't find any qualified minority businesses. We can't find any qualified women-owned businesses or veteran-owned businesses. Oh, no. I can call on MBDA, Angela, Keat Moore, that organization to help me put in front of them minority-owned, women-owned, disadvantage-owned businesses to do that work. So again, I challenge you to reach out to them, be a member of theirs, and have them help you. The other thing I'm going to start off at the top with also is network, network, network. Do not leave here without talking to your fellow small businesses, other organizations, some that may be doing work with the federal government, state government, local government, learning from them, partnering with them. It is challenging. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. It is challenging getting contracts with the federal government. You've got to be persistent, but you're here this morning, so I know you're persistent. But you got to be doubly persistent. You got to follow up. You've got to bring, as my deputy has told me, Tamara Miles, you've got to bring a solution to the table. You can't just show up, put your capability statement down, and say, I'm ready to go. where's my contract? You can, but you might not get 4. So bring a solution to the table, and as I said, network. One of the things I love about my job is that I learn something new every day. One of the things I hate about my job is that I learn something new every day. So do not feel ashamed, no matter how successful you are or you're looking for your first contract. You've got a network to navigate this this complicated environment. So I just wanted to put that out there first. Can I have the first slide up of my presentation? I don't know if it's here in the monitor. But let me just say this. The OSDBU is the hardest acronym in the Department of Energy, OSDBU, OSDBU. We'll stop with the long title. I do not have any contracting or procurement authority to sign up and provide contracts to you. What my office does is to advocate for small businesses, to facilitate for small businesses through the Department of Energy. As I said, it is vast and bureaucratic. Our 17 national labs under, thank you, let's just stay here for now. Our 17 national labs, as I tell everyone when I go around, it's a jewel of the federal government. If I could give my fellow Americans and taxpayers one gift, it would be a ticket to visit some or all of our national labs. It will leave you awe-inspired, your jaw dropping on the faces, on the floor. Thank you. And they do great things. And doing those great things that they've been doing before a lot of us were born, they develop little fiefdoms and they get full of themselves. So we are trying to simplify and standardize and make it easier for small businesses to get into the Department of Energy and to do work with them, because it can be daunting. Even though each of the labs have small business teams and procurement teams, what they do in the Pacific Northwest and doing business with them, that entry level will look totally different from what they're doing at Princeton in New Jersey or Savannah River down in South Carolina or any of the national labs. So we're trying to standardize that and help small businesses, at least initially, when they're looking for opportunities within the Department of Energy, for that to be standardized. And as you see on the screen, that's our mission. And I say this, and I mean it, I will put my team, my staff in the Department of Energy's OSDBU office up against anyone else's, and each of the federal agencies has an OSDBU office. In customer care and putting you in front of the right people, making those introductions, helping you understand what they're looking for, how you can present yourself better. I tell the team, and Tamara will attest to this, push the envelope. I'm a beg for forgiveness, ask for permission last type of guy, and my team will do that. So the other challenge, if I want you to take away, and we will be around, I will be around to give you my card, is help me, make me do our job. Make me do my job. That's getting in front of me, presenting what your company can do, and we can connect the dots. And I'm proud to say that we've had, in the last couple of years, some successes in moving companies forward. Some 2 contracts, some on the path to getting contracts. That's what we do. That's what all of the OSDBUs in the federal government should and are striving to do. I'm just not going to be humble and tell you we do it very good in our office. So we're going to keep doing that. And I ask you to work with us to help us do our business. So that's our mission. Let me see, move this forward. So just a couple of things, some of our major initiatives going forward. Just a quick step backwards. Last year, third year in a row, we received the A grade from the Small Business Administration. Every year, SBA to the different federal agencies through the OZDBU offices sets out metrics to help them perform in certain socioeconomic categories. And I'm proud to say that in the last 3 years, the Department of Energy, we've received an A grade by increasing the number of new small business entrants, receiving contracts in the dollar amount in the awards that we're issuing from the Department of Energy. Last year was the first time in the history of the Department of Energy that we gave out 10 billion with a B, billion with a B, dollars in small business contracts. We set a goal that we were going to increase that by $1 billion. We surpassed that goal, 1.1 billion. We went from 1.3 actually. We went from 9.7 billion. We went from like 9.2 to $10.1 billion, increase it by $1 billion. There is opportunity out there. You guys know that. Through the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law and the Inflation Reduction Act, the Department of Energy alone received over $100 billion. And our Secretary Granholm says deploy, deploy, deploy. Tomorrow's not promised to us. We don't know if we're going to be in this position a year and a half from now. So we are trying to, as aggressively and efficiently as possible, push those dollars out to the small business community. I must say I'm grateful to work at the Department of Energy under Secretary Granholm because they get it. They get the idea that small businesses is important. It's not just in my performance description, and I'm evaluated on it. It's in every program offices, directors, performance statement to increase the awards to small businesses. So this is a transformational time for small businesses to be involved and in front of the Department of Energy because there's a lot of opportunity. New offices being created that we're partnering with, and we'll be sharing opportunities from these new offices of Clean Energy Demonstration, OCED, the Office of State Community Energy Program, SCEP, SCEP, Joint Office of Energy Transportation. Deputy Director Miles will be holding a session later around EV, electric vehicles, getting into that market through subcontracts and building EV stations. So there are a lot of opportunities out there for small businesses, and we, within my office, are going to push that. As I mentioned, led by Tamara Miles, we're going to be, we're in the process of improving our acquisition procurement website, standardize it and simplifying that. We're hopefully, knock on wood, getting funding here in the next month to start making those changes that we've been reviewing and trying to improve over the last 15 months. We have a company picked out that we're going to go and execute that and make it easier for small businesses to do business and find opportunities within the Department of Energy. One of the things that we're also looking to reform is the mentor protege program where larger companies take on small businesses to help them, show them the ropes, how to do business within the federal government, within the Department of Energy specifically. We're looking to expand that. I think we do anywhere between 20 and 30 protege programs a year. I feel like that needs to be double, triple to help spread the pie, spread the wealth. So we're looking at reforming that. One of the things that I'm really proud of and excited that we initiated last year and we're going to continue to do this year is the Small Business Opportunity Days at our national labs. As I mentioned, 80% of that procurement spend is done at our 17 national labs. And in talking with them, some say, hey, I can't find qualified HubZone companies, or I can't find enough women-owned businesses, or service-disabled veteran-owned businesses, or minority-owned businesses. So I'm a fairly smart guy, follow the money. We're going to bring qualified businesses to the national labs. We're going to sit in your auditorium, cafeteria, wherever you want to hold the event, and we're going to introduce you to that small business team at that national lab. Don't show up, small business team at the national labs, without bringing tangible opportunities that you're going to award to small business in the next 3 to 24 months. You don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste your time. I want you to be able to look, oh, I can do that. That's my NAICS code. There's the small business program manager, John Smith. You go talk to him, not over Zoom. You shake his hand, you look him in the eye. Hey, what do I need to do? We're putting those together. I'm proud to say last year, we did about 6 of these events. Small measuring stick, but we're trying to hold ourselves accountable. We did $20+ million with about 28 companies from those national labs, showing up, sitting down, hearing the presentations, seeing the opportunities. From that day one, a couple of months down, within a year, they got a contract. They're ranging from 25,000 to over 4 million. By engaging and bringing people to the table. I want to stop here and think an organization that has been helpful and leads into the next bullet point there, an advisory board. So the HubZone Coalition, Council, I always get it wrong. I always want to throw coalition in. HubZone Council is one of the stakeholder organizations that we partnered with. We did an engagement day up in Morgantown, West Virginia at the NETL National Lab. Their president, Michelle Burnett's here, helped us organize that. We brought in almost 100 small businesses there, and they got to meet that small business team out of Morgantown, West Virginia. Second. Yes, yes. Yeah. So one of the things that we're going to do, but we still didn't, you'll see it later, we still didn't meet our goal in those 2 areas you see up there, HubZone and service disabled veterans. But we're going to continue to look for creative ways to do that. So partnering with Michelle's organization and others, and I think Ray McKinnon is here. Is Ray McKinnon's here. We're putting together, it's not a novel idea, advisory councils, because I don't have all the answers. My team doesn't have all the answers. I want to work with stakeholders, those that have done work, those that are looking for work. You know, the Jerry Maguire line, help me help you. I need your help. We're going to put together a strategic and tactical plan on how we increase those dollars. I was honored to be invited to Michelle's HubZone conference to speak, but I was embarrassed to find out when we pulled the numbers, we had 9. 9 set aside sole source hub zone contract for the whole year. That's unacceptable. That's malpractice on my part. We're going to change that. And I think some of the low-hanging fruit is we can set aside more. I just spoke to all the lab directors last week and told them, I need your help. I need you to tell your small business teams, we need more hub zone, veteran-owned, service-disabled veteran-owned set-asides. We can find them, and it shouldn't be 9. It should, I think I should be able to do 50 to 100 set-asides. That'll move the needle in a positive way to help those type of companies win businesses. And so working and creating advisory boards on both those areas will help us get there. Hopefully it only takes a year. It might be my white whale, but I told my team, just like in Moby Dick, you're going to chase it with me and we'll all drown together, but we're going to get to those measured goals, the 3% in those 2 categories. And I think in those low-hanging fruit, putting in tactical and strategic plans, we can get there. Just getting up there and say, hey, we're going to do better and win more, that's not going to work. So I got to put on my old Army officer hat and say, no, give me a plan. We're going to do A, B, C, and D. And if we do A, B, C, and D, we probably move the needle half a point, or we get over. And so that's what we're going to do, creating those 2 councils. Michelle, I will call on you. You know I will. The other thing that we're going to do, and we finally did it just downriver here, down the Mississippi. After 4 years, we brought back our small business forum and expo in New Orleans, July last year. The team said, hey, let's beat the heat. Where can we go? I said, New Orleans. So we went to New Orleans in July, had our first forum and expo in a year, 1,200 plus small businesses, every national lab, majority of the program officers from DOD were there and represented, again, where you could touch, feel, talk, breed, network, talk about opportunities within the Department of Energy in person. I think in reading the feedback and surveys, it was quite successful. We're going to tweak some things, but we set the bar high. So we're going even higher this year. Save the date, June 4th. 4th and 5th in Minneapolis. We're going upriver. We tried to swim across the Mississippi in New Orleans. Said, no, wait till next year. You can walk across it when we go up to Minneapolis, to the mouth of the Mississippi. So there again, we're going to bring all of our national labs, our program offices. One of the changes that we've already said we're going to do, you all will have nice, pretty lanyards, but the programming officers, the contracting officers, the small business program managers, those that can advance your opportunity in gaining a contract with the Department of Energy, their lanyards will be bright orange, turquoise, purple, or something, but stand out so you can network with them in the hall, on the escalator, in the elevator, in the lobby, at the bar, at the restaurant, not in the restrooms. That's the only place you should not network. Everywhere else, you will be able to tap someone from the Department of Energy procurement team on the shoulder to talk about your company, your elevator pitch, your capabilities, your past performance. It'll be a networking petri dish. That's what we're going for. And we will be identifiable, that you can find them in the hall and network from them. We have a lot of opportunity to share, so we can't do that in just a 2-day conference. We're going to have a pre-forum. We're looking to do that, and that one will be free, no registration fees. A day and a half. It's probably going to be IT cybersecurity centric, because no matter where I go, everyone says, hey, I can do IT. I can do cybersecurity. Well, I've heard those words. I'm even on the IT Cybersecurity Council at the Department of Energy. I know a little bit about it, but for the most part, woo, woo, woo. So we're going to bring the Office of OCIO there with their procurement team, a day and a half of all the IT cybersecurity your little heart can desire. So if you think you can do that, or you know you can do that, it's going to be on our website. Show up in probably California. I think in March, April next year. I see Angela standing up, so I'm going to quickly go through these. I mentioned this. Proud of the A grade we got, but where we need to focus: hub zones, service disabled veterans, and women. We haven't met our totals, but hub zone and service disabled veterans is a priority. We're going to get there with the help of the advisory councils, coalitions like Hub Zone Coalition. We will get there. Other thing, so finally, again, our National Opportunity Days at the labs. These are just some that are definitely on the calendar. We're going up to the Pacific Northwest, Richland, Washington, for our first one of the new fiscal year. But there will be Idaho National Labs, SLAC out of California, Berkeley out of California, Lawrence Livermore, NREL out of Colorado, all there, all, again, they're not showing up unless they're bringing opportunities that will be available in the next 3 to 24 months. We're doing a veterans focus. In fact, we're doing a couple of veterans events at the Department of Energy in DC, supporting the VA's small business initiative down in Orlando, November 7th through the 9th. But we're going to have our own right there with another stakeholder organization, EOPA, in DC. The last two really quickly. So the pre-forum, that's going to be free, no registration fees, could bring opportunities in Menlo Park, SLAC, one of our national labs. And then, as I mentioned, our culminating small business forum upriver in Minneapolis. As I close, very quickly, network. Make us and help us do our job. I want to see you in front of me. You might only get 5 minutes with myself or Tamara today, but let's exchange cards. Let's get on the calendar so we can do a deep dive, find out where you can bring a solution to the table for the Department of Energy. And I'll just close with, again, thank you, Keith, for having me. It's really good to be here. And again, we're there to support you and facilitate your success within the Department of Energy. So thank you for your time. Thank you, guys.
Before we give Mr. Ron Pierce the hand that a clap that he deserves, let me just give a little bit of a premise. We last year, Ron was at our summit with Alabama A&M. And if you go back to that video, he was such a new beginner of the MBDA, but he was an evangelizer even then to recognizing at the head's position at DOE that the MBDA was the go-to agency for minority businesses. And we appreciate you then, and we appreciate you now, and all the work that we've done in between. What I'd like to do is not put you on the hot seat, but give the audience the opportunity to ask a question. I have the first question because I have the mic. How many hub zones are in this room? Please raise your hands. Thank you for raising your hands. You are our target audience at the moment. Here. We have a war room. You all don't know that, but you'll learn continuously throughout the day what's going on. We are here intentionally to put companies who are prepared ready, shovel ready, and needing to know how to get the shovel, because once they get it, they will be ready. And we know government contracting is the hardest thing known to man and womankind. It literally is, for a number of different reasons. So don't take it personally, but take you being here as your time to be able to be active in those calendarized opportunities and bring something to the table because you are here today. So I'm going to open it up and ask, who has a question for Mr. Ron Pierce? All right. Well, Senator,
Not
it's
really
gonna.
a question. First of all, thank you very much for the great presentation.
Thank you, sir.
The two takeaways from the presentation would be follow the money, follow the money, follow the money.
Yes, sir.
And the second takeaway would be persistence, persistence, persistence.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And I guess the reason I bring those things up is because the battle has been so long and the fight continues. And today there are new initiatives and new people in new places that can truly enhance the entrepreneurs and the wannabe entrepreneurs to really find their way. We thank you for your efforts.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I will just add, and I do mean this, and I have a leg to stand on because one of my staffers, rightfully so, was awarded Hub Zone Champion of the Year by Michelle's organization, Kent Hibben, and Deputy Director Tamara Miles. I have a team with a bunch of institutional knowledge that knows how to get the job done or point you in the right direction. Tamara has pointed a company from a capabilities meeting to, hey, you need to get in front of this organization, talk to this person in this office, and it was bureaucratic and long and tedious. But after, what, 6 months to 9 months, they got a contract, a $500,000 contract on the way to 4.5 million. But they want to see you perform first. But if you walked in the door with zero and you walk out with 500,000, that's a good day, I think. That's a good day. That's worthwhile putting in 6 months of tedium. But calling our office, speaking to the Tamara Miles and the Ken Hibbins in the day, hey, tweak the statement of work like this. This will help you along. So again, help us do our job. I have an excellent team, and I'm not doing that because she's in the room, but because she's excellent, she's smart. The team she leads is excellent and smart and can help you. Yes, ma'am, and then I'll come to you, Michelle, and then this gentleman. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is EJ Maxwell, and I'm the CEO of EJ Max Solution, which is an IT project management consulting firm located in Monroe, Louisiana.
So I will see you in Menlo Park.
Oh, you would
If
see
not
me at,
sooner.
you would see me at all of those.
Oh, great, great, okay.
So my question to you is, you mentioned earlier about sole source hub zone contracts. That's my first time hearing of that. So can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
Well, it is what it says. So, and I can't speak specifically, and I may put her on the spot, but for particular socioeconomic categories, the government agency granting the contract or looking for, they have an opportunity, they can structure it or send it out where, hey, this will only be awarded to a hub zone company. I'll get you in one second. Only be awarded to a hub zone company or a service disabled company. I will stop there because I'm just the conductor, but the people are really going to play the tunes. I'm going to ask Tamara if you want to add anything to that, or should I kick it over to Michelle?
Sides. So you can do sole sources for hub zone, women owned, and veteran owned, but the regulations associated to sole sourcing for those programs, because they're contracts programs, is different than 8A. So most frequently you see sole sourcing requirements associated with the 8A program because that's how the program was developed. It was intended to bypass the acquisition process. Now, sole sourcing and the other socioeconomic programs can happen. However, you have to prove that you are the only technically acceptable source. Now, it's not the only technically acceptable source across all small businesses. So if you're a hub zone company and you're an R&D, or you have a very specialty skill set, meaning that you're currently supporting the project, you have personnel that have niche-oriented things, the contracting officer can write up a justification for approval, frequently referred to as a J&A, and indicate that, hey, we would like to issue this sole source to this individual. They still have to solicit it, and it's still subject to the size standards associated with sole sourcing. But it doesn't happen as much because the way the language is for hub zone, women-owned, and
But
veteran-owned
we're gonna,
is
Michelle, let me
Okay.
say, she's right. It doesn't happen as much. 9. We're gonna change that. Because you cannot tell me in the Department of Energy, billions of dollars, billions of opportunities, we can only find 9, excuse my French, BS. That's why I said it's malpractice. If it's going to be an initiative, it's going to be a priority. This is how you do it. You have to follow these guidelines. We're going to put it in front of the contracting officers, and I'm going to stay on them because I don't want to go to Michelle's conference next year and say, oh, I went from 9 to 10. No, that means you're not doing your work. We're going to go from 9 to 100.
Okay, how about that? That
Let
gets
me,
ahead. Raise your hand.
I want to go to Tamara, Deputy Director Osbu, if she can have a mic, and then
we are going to
I
get
just
back
have
on
one
that
other
track.
question, this gentleman here, and then we'll end after that. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be brief. Well, good morning, everyone. I just wanted to double down a little bit on some of the things that Michelle and Ron had stated. I certainly agree with what Michelle noted in terms of the sole source for HubZone. It is more difficult to do under the HubZone program, and it's likely that it would be done if you were already the incumbent for something, you won the award, and then you're wanting to do the follow-on. But I would say that I think in terms of set-asides for HubZone firms is more probable to be done. And one of the ways that industry can influence that is responding for RFIs, responding to those requests for information. So what a contracting officer does, and I was one for many years, is conduct market research as a requirement per the Federal Acquisition Regulation to query industry to say, hey, I have this requirement. I am looking for a small business to do it. Please advise if you have the capability. So I would highly encourage you all to seek out those RFIs, go to sam.gov, where items are in your wheelhouse, respond to those. Contracting officers are looking at those. They're poring over it in great detail, and we're wanting to set it aside for a hub zone if we can find 2 or more that can do it. And so we don't know that unless you're responding. So I highly encourage you to take a look at those, respond to those. Partner with a hub zone company. Sometimes you have to go at it as a team. And so I just highly encourage you to do those things to make our job easier by providing the requisite information so we can make those decisions. Thanks.
I use them interchangeably, and it's obviously wrong. We're going to increase sole source. We're going to increase set aside, and we're going to help the contracting officers find companies like you. Let me end with this final question from this gentleman here.
Yes, excuse me. Mine doesn't quite fit in the format of, the contracting. How does one get in front of an audience that can examine new technologies? Where is that group? That's the one we're looking for.
So that is probably SBIR and STTR opportunities. Each of the agencies have that, but let us be your first stop.
Yes.
And then we can direct you through the new legislation. We have new offices. So maybe it's even going to Office of Clean Energy Demonstration, OCED. And that's who you should be talking to. But there are different ways. But again, that's some of the homework that we can help you with. Just hearing your question, I'm thinking it's SBIR, because they're looking for new tech, or Office of Clean Energy Demonstration, or one of the program offices. Believe me, what you're trying to do, there's an office or lab looking at it that we can put you in front of.
And that's exactly what I want. I want the one that can provide the most challenging, the most skeptical. That's the audience we're looking for.
What if you don't have so SBIR are typically based on the topics,
Right.
not generalized. So if you had a general topic that could be beneficial, who would be the person that you?
Yeah, I don't,
Ron?
Kent does. So I just gave him Kent's email address because that answer, we did that in
Yeah.
an ATL lab. They have a white paper avenue, so there is direct context. So Kent Hibbins from his team actually.
so that sounds like that would be unsolicited.
Right.
And that unsolicited proposal, we can put that in front of the appropriate people, but we'd have to do some homework and peel back the onion and put you in front of the right people. But if you're looking for hardcore skeptics, believe me, they're in one of those 17 labs. So, okay.
And of course, I'll tell you what the technology
Right.
are. They call in, energy generation.
Mm.
and so forth.
Yeah.
But only,
We have enough offices and labs and money that we can put you in front of the right people. Thank you again. Hopefully this was beneficial.